What is up, my maniacs? I'm the Awesome Maniac, and today I'm joined by my friend Destiny Faulkner, and she.
Hi, I'm Destiny Faulkner. I do special effects makeup slightly sometimes, and then I am now a part of the Stream Demons. That's really all I have going for me so far. Oh, and Creeping It Real with Chris Snyder. That's something new coming up. But besides that, I do not have my own channel, but I am bouncing on everyone else's channels, so y'all can just see me wherever. But yeah, that's really all I have going for me right now.
It's like the Wild West, she'll just pop up when you least expect it.
Yeah, exactly. So always be prepared for me.
Always. And
Always.
considering that she's part of something called the Stream Demons, and I'm part of something called the Stream Warriors, this is, I guess you call it, a little mini crossover.
It is. Wow.
Yeah.
A
And
little
what we're doing
crossover action.
and what we're doing today is discussing Friday the 13th Part 3. Now,
Yes.
I noted that I wanted to do this for a while. I have reviews of the first three on my channel, but they were not in the style of how I do them now, and they were not very good. So I wanted to go back with other people, bounce off their ideas, and do a re-review. And you'll see that the first two are already on my channel. First one I did with my friend Mike White Jr. The second one I did with my friend's daughter Jada Cullen, and today I'm doing it with Destiny. So why don't we just hop into it? What is your first note?
Well, so what I basically did was I did my own like little summary because I just like doing stuff like that. But my first note is really, and this is something very obscure, nothing too major to anything. But have you always noticed, that there's a character that is pregnant?
Yeah,
In there?
Debbie.
Debbie, yes.
Like
she
she's
is
like,
pregnant.
yeah.
But
That's what happens when you're pregnant. Like it was a very blatant
yeah.
line.
It's like you always have to stop and pee. Well, that's what happens when you're pregnant. She twice in the matter of like 5 minutes almost when they're in the van, and then she can't eat the weed. She's like, "We're pregnant, remember?"
Yeah, but then she asks for a beer later.
Exactly. I love this movie, but that always just like, don't be drinking, girl. But someone's like, "Oh, it's the 80s, things are different." I'm just like, okay, but
yeah, and that's why
still
there's a
shouldn't
lot
be
of people.
drinking.
Yeah.
I was like, still shouldn't be drinking. Yeah, that's something every time I watch it, and it's something so like obscure. It doesn't even matter to really anything. It's just there, so you kind of you feel a little bit more sorry for her. It has a little bit more characterization, but not really, because I feel like they put that in, they completely forget about it up until, well, that's it. They forget about it.
Yeah, it's not really mentioned later on
at all. But
and if you look, if she hadn't said she was pregnant, you wouldn't even know because
she's no idea.
If she is, she's very early on. Yeah.
Yes, very early on. That's just something. It always sticks out to me. I don't know why.
That's an extension to what I was thinking. The dialogue in this is not the best, but there are some highlights.
Yes. Oh wow.
Like that's what happens when you're pregnant.
That's what happens when you're pregnant.
I also think it's this one has maybe the most like boring story, just because at this point we had already gotten the first two movies that kind of had like the same kind of plot, which is basic slasher movie plot. People show up, they die. Of course, there's more to it, but this one definitely stuck out more to me after watching 1 and 2 together, and then hopping into this one. Broke it up with like having like the regional group and then the family.
Yeah.
But this one I think it suffered from that. Like the formula, they kept using the same thing.
I agree, because it's what she comes back to Higgins Haven and brings some friends along. They're supposed to be having a great time. She meets Rick again. They rekindle whatever love that they had before. But then that's it. Like all they do is they come back. There's like that whole little fight scene off at the gas station, but that's only there to
add
in some more characters. Like
yeah.
it's not really it doesn't matter. It just adds more bodies to the kill count, which is like the point of these movies.
I mean,
I do
I
agree.
can't really complain in that regard though.
Oh no, it doesn't have my favorite kills. There's just so many great kills in the Friday 13th franchise, but I feel like in this one there's definitely a few that stick out to me. And a few
Yeah.
that I think of whenever I think of this movie.
Maybe some of them stick out for the wrong reasons for me, like Rick's death, because that head is
Okay,
so
besides
bad.
that one sticks out like a sore thumb. That one's not very good. And the eyeballs, the way they
You could see the
you just see the like little strings, like the wires,
yeah.
and the way it crushes. And okay, yeah, the head is bad. That one is very bad. But the handstand kill,
I like that one.
that one's pretty awesome. And I
And
like
for-
Debbie's kill. I mean, it's repetitive. We've done it before,
Also,
like twice.
it doesn't. To me, that one doesn't feel. I don't think the effects are as good with that one because it looks like he's just poking through rubber.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
there's not as much like blood. Like there's some, but it was funny.
There's
She was
not a
she was
lot.
reading a article about
Boring.
Tom Savini, and then
Yeah.
they cut to this kill, which is one that Tom like designed for the first movie.
Exactly. And it doesn't have that same effect. Also, maybe it didn't malfunction like the original, so it doesn't get that gurgle, but it also doesn't come through the throat. It's just like
Through
here.
The
Yeah,
top
so
of the
it's
breast
just-
through the chest.
Yeah. It's not really, it doesn't give much of a explosion. It doesn't shoot out. I do like the blood dripping down though.
Yeah.
When she like first realizes it,
I
that's
think you
kind of
see
cool.
like
Yeah.
him at the Andy at the top
like-
of his body in
Like the
half.
top of some like wooden post type thing, and he's just
Yeah.
like on it. That part's cool. I do like the blood dripping down. Yeah, I feel like the handstand, his kill
Oh,
is
yeah.
what really sticks out to me. I love his kill. But besides that one, and I love this movie. Like, this is my second favorite Friday the 13th, but I understand the faults. I know the dialogue isn't that great. I know the 3D, it gets in the way of the movie.
That is my biggest complaint about
Yes.
this movie.
Yes.
When it's
And
just blatant, like when the guy Harold at the beginning is like sticking that thing up, it looks like he's looking directly at the camera, trying to
Mhm.
adjust it to see if it's like directly in the camera.
Yes. That the 3D definitely it gets in the way of the story, and they are so focused on the 3D. They like didn't care about anything else. I heard like there's days they are just waiting to shoot the 3D stuff, but they're just kind of hanging around waiting for the 3D stuff to get done.
Yeah,
Which is like that could have waited to your like script. That could have
it could have been
could've
more
really
attention.
helped anything,
Yeah.
but the 3D, which I haven't gotten to watch it in actual 3D yet.
Whenever I was young, I bought like a collection that had like the first 4 in it, and it came with 3D glasses, and I
That's
wasn't impressed
awesome.
even then because it was the red and blue ones.
Yeah, those hurt my eyes. I can't. I can do it for like 2 seconds.
think I
and then
felt.
have to. Exactly. Yeah, I couldn't. I couldn't imagine. So I haven't gotten to see the 3D effects in all of its glory. So I don't know how it really like will hold up. But it's the same thing in like I don't know Jaws 3D. Same thing. It just focuses so much on the 3D
It's the gimmick.
aspect. Exactly. It's the gimmick. And I get it. It's exciting. 3D is new, but like it shouldn't
But the thing that like
cost
I
you the
think
rest of your movie.
the thing I think makes up for like the boring story and like the dialogue is that is this one is more lighthearted than the first two.
Hmm.
It feels bizarre if you watch 2, 3, and 4 back to back because 2 is like the serious and the 3 is all kind of light and stuff. And 4 is even darker,
Yeah.
even though it has like the with Jimmy and
Jimbo.
yeah, Jimbo.
Yes, I
Teddy
love.
bear.
Yeah, Teddy Bear. You want to give Teddy a kiss? And uses the same line again.
Like twice.
Yeah, on the twins, like they don't want to kiss
Like
you, dude.
it's not working, bro.
It's not working. Quit trying. You're
Just-
just embarrassing yourself. That's what Jimbo needed to be doing in the back. Just trying to tell him to cut it off.
Maybe that would have been a foreshadowing
It would have.
if they had done like a kill like that. See, here we are thinking about stuff. We're talking about 4, which I think is almost flawless. That's my favorite one.
That's my favorite one as well.
But
Yes.
3, I like, especially with the theme. If you go back and watch my original review, I say something like, this kind of music playing in this kind of movie reminds me of like All About That Bass by Megan Trainor playing while
Yeah.
Danny's saying, "I see dead people in the Sixth Sense."
Yes, I feel that. I love it so much. Anytime I hear it, I have to dance. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. I get stuck in my head randomly, and it's so good. That's one of my favorite like scores for horror
Oh,
movies. Even though it's very fun, it's more like I don't know, there's something about it. I love it. And anytime I get a chance to talk about it, I'm like, yes, Friday 13th Part 3.
it's
Love
a
the
pop.
score. It's so good. I played it at my Halloween party. We had like a little
So
tiny
did I.
Halloween party. I had to play it. I don't think anyone else was as excited as I was. No one really knew what it was, but I was dancing.
My friends were very inebriated whenever I played that song, so they were
Yeah.
really,
Oh,
they were like, oh,
see, that was
dancing.
me. I was the one inebriated over there on the couch just dancing. Everyone else was just sitting there, and
vibing.
I was just exactly. It's just how can you not dance? It's so good, especially when like I don't even know, but it's like the woo 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 part. Yeah, and it's just like going in and out. It's so good. I
Yeah.
love that part.
But
And the bent, bent, bent,
dun,
bent.
dun,
Yes. It's just
dun.
how can you not dance? It's
It's
so
hard
fun.
not to, yeah.
It's so
Like,
good.
And the downsides of that, I think, is the use of the music in the movie. Like, it feels random at some points. Like, especially in the first two, we have been kind of like set up to know that the music is there only when Jason is there or Pamela's there. But in this, you got just like random like whenever
Exactly,
like
yeah.
people touch the shoulders or something like that.
And that bothers me because it's like the
I
same,
love the music itself, but the use
Yeah.
of it in this movie
where it's placed.
is not
at.
the best. Yeah, it's not the
Yeah.
best.
I agree. Because it's like you were saying in part 1 and part 2, it's kind of that same thing with Jaws. When you hear the music, you know it's the shark. So it's like you set yourself up for it. But when there's just those musical cues, like those little stingers, real quick, it's just like a little jump scare. It's like
Yeah, it's
you don't
cheap.
need that.
Very, very
It's
cheap.
cheap, and I'm not a fan of. No,
And
anything cheap jump scares, no.
now I
Get out of
don't
here
know.
with
I don't
that.
know what your opinion on this is, but I fucking hate Shelly.
You hate them?
I hate Shelly.
I have.
Yeah, I think because he reminds
mixed
me of myself in
feelings.
high school. I think that's why I hate
Yeah.
him so much.
I
How painfully like pathetic he is.
pathetic. That's a good word for it.
He's like, I could maybe like him as like the lovable loser, but then he just he puts himself down way too much. He doesn't even joke about it like I do. So
Yeah, it's not like a fun, self-deprecating
no,
like
it's just
humor type of way. It's just
self-deprecating.
yeah. There's moments when I do feel bad
Like-
for him.
Like, bro, you can like Rivera's like she doesn't hate you, so
Yeah, she's into you. If you would just stop being a doofus and just
Yeah.
chill out, stop trying to make everyone laugh. Like you don't always have to be funny because what you're
And-
doing is not funny.
he doesn't one laugh.
Exactly. No. And then
He
like
just scars Chris.
yeah, it's like Chris is already like struggling, which like he doesn't know that, but still
Yeah.
like just chill out, man. And then there's parts when I do feel bad for him, like I feel like sympathetic towards him. Like when they're talking about like skinny dipping, he's like, I'm not skinny. Like that does make me feel a little bad. But what
At that
makes,
moment, yeah.
yeah, what makes me mad though is when him and Vera are talking and then she's like, you know, like we'll talk later.
And then he calls her.
And then he calls her a bitch. It's like anything I felt for you, like I don't care anymore because why did you call her a bitch? Because she doesn't want to, you know, sleep with you right now because she doesn't want to make out with you. Like keep it in your pants and just chill out
Speaking of keeping it in the
Exactly.
pants, Rick is a fucking horn dog.
all the time. That's all
Like,
he wants to
it's like-
do.
Like, okay, but there's only so many cold showers I could take. Like, fuck off.
Just chill out. And he's like, what was her name? I forget her name. She's like,
Chris.
not Chris. When he's talking to Chris and when he's like, I
Mary
skipped
Jo
on.
Conrad.
There we go. Yeah, it's just like,
I think it's pretty funny though. She's like, "Boy, are you dumb?"
exactly. I love Chris.
I love her.
I know she's not everyone's favorite final girl. I love Chris. I love those moments right there. She's like, boy, are you dumb? Like, she isn't trying to necessarily please him and isn't trying to, like, put aside her feelings exactly. Like, I love the scene when she finally, like, does tell him. Because I feel like there he is actually somewhat serious.
Yeah.
And it, like, takes her seriously. But I love Chris.
Oh,
I don't understand all the hate for her. I really love her.
Hey, I've never heard hate from her. I think she's cute as hell.
She is very cute. I love her. She's
Yeah.
so cute. She's just adorable. And then I kind of like that there's a backstory with Jason.
I just don't like the execution of that because it seems like I don't know what they're trying to imply with that, but
they were trying to imply sexual assault, but they decided to cut that. Which
thank God.
I wanted to talk about like Ollie and what's her name, Fox, and then Loco. Yeah, like we had already said earlier with them, like the gang or whatever, they're just there to add to the body count, and they're there to add just some sort of side plot that it's just to move them along to get to Higgins Haven.
But I think they're fun. I think they're fun characters. Like I like Fox.
Yeah, I do like Fox, and I like when she's swinging on the rope. And then I like how she doesn't care about necessarily like what Ali is gonna say. Like she just does what she wants to do. She don't care. I like when she's swinging, and then when Loco's like saying like hurry up, you know, like Ollie's gonna see, he's gonna be mad, and she's just swinging. She's just having a good time. She doesn't care.
She doesn't really want to hurt people either. Like you can tell.
No, you can tell. Like that scene in the gas station when with Vera and the condom. And that's a fun scene.
Yeah,
I like their inclusion. I know why they are there. But I love Fox's death scene.
Yeah.
And I love that.
I like how it's shot.
Yes, when you hands down and her feet are like she's hanging and you can see she's hanging.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then
I like that she's swinging and stuff, and then you just see the rope swing. She's not on it.
Gone.
You know what happened? Like, oh shit.
Oh, you know she is gone. And then with Loco, like his death, I like his death. I think it's funny. He has a cigarette in his mouth like the entire time. Yeah, it's just holding it as he's dying.
It's
and, like,
barely
falling
out.
Up. Yeah.
It's like...
They're fun. I do like their characters. And I love the part after like Shelly hits like their bikes and or like I can't remember if it's before or after, but with Ollie he like smiles and then just breaks the window.
Yeah,
because it's like that little smile, and then Shelly smiles back, and you think it's gonna be like but then
nope,
breaks the window. That part's fun.
I did like that Shelly actually like tried to get revenge on them.
Yeah, for real. He's like, they took it too far this time.
Show some spine.
There we go, Shelly. Just keep.
You could tell Vera was impressed.
Yeah, because she's like cheering him on. It was like looking at him like, yeah. It's like, wow.
But then
you have some fire in you, except for when you call me a bitch, because that's not cool.
Quietly behind her back.
Yeah, at least say it to her face. Like that just shows you're a coward if you can't say it to her face. Like, come on.
Man, we're really ragging on Shelly.
I know, and I do like Shelly. I just like it's that one part. It's like you can't expect me to like you if you're gonna do that.
And then he turns into the boy who cried wolf whenever he actually gets his throat slit.
Mm-hmm. And oh my god, we haven't even talked about the stoner couple.
No, we haven't. Chuck and Chili.
We have not. Oh my god.
Whenever I play Friday the 13th the game, I play the character based off him all the time, Mitch.
Chuck and Chili, like every time I watch it, like I have a fun time with them.
Yeah.
They make me laugh. Like I don't. When it comes to the acting, though, especially
Chili is the worst actress in this movie.
Especially Chili once she sees Shelly.
Oh my god,
Shelly's dead. It's like he's dead.
And the way she's walking, also like
she's walking up the stairs, up down the stairs. Oh my god. Oh my god. Like that's the part that I'm like, oh. How are you gonna do this? Can Can you put something into anything you're doing right now?
Like maybe a little more pep in that step.
A,
So
a
just
pep, maybe some more like sadness or something, not just he's dead.
And then turn around, get scared by a door, turn around, get stabbed by Jason.
Yeah. So.
Also, a fire poker to the gut. Ow.
Ow, that has to hurt.
At least you won't bleed out.
Yeah, no, that has to hurt though. And I like whenever they have like the stove on and there's just like nothing in it, and then Chris is like, "What is going on here?" Like,
yeah,
we don't know. We haven't been here. What is going on here? Oh, everyone's dead. That's what's going on.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Forgot we were in a Friday 13th movie. Everyone's dead.
Yeah, having a little talk. I don't. They really spent like a lot of time just like out away from everybody else. Mm-hmm. I felt like that was manufactured just so they could get Jason to kill everybody, and then she comes back and finds all the bodies.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Like the Higgins Haven place is not that big, and
it just feels like they're out there for like hours.
It's not like in the original where like the camp was like kind of spacious and she could go around, kill everybody, and then Alice would find them. Or even in part 2, whenever like Jenny and them were away, like that one didn't feel manufactured. It was like one last night before the work really began.
Yeah.
But this one, it was very noticeable.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, let's go take a walk. Let's go drive. Like,
I'll finally tell you my backstory.
Exactly. It's like, I'll finally tell you, but we have to be like far away from the house.
Yeah.
That's how I'm gonna tell you. Yeah, I agree. I do feel like it's definitely there. It's just like a plot device. Like, get them out of here so they can get killed off and then they can come back.
I think that's like something about the movies. Like, for every good thing, there's a bad thing that you could talk about. Like, there's a good aspect and there's bad aspects. Yeah. Music is good, but the use of it isn't. The characters are funny, but the dialogue is very bland.
Yes.
The story is very boring, but there are some comedic moments.
Yeah, and like I just think it's very fun.
Like as far as rankings go, it's very, for me, in the middle of the pack. Just like I like all of them except Jason Takes Manhattan. That is one thing. If you know me, I fucking hate Jason Takes Manhattan.
That one sits at the bottom for me.
Yes, thank God, finally someone agrees. But 3, definitely middle of the pack for me. I think my top 5 are 4, 2. Freddy vs. Jason, the reboot, and 6.
Yeah.
Like, those would be my top 5.
I think I would go 4, 3, 2, reboot, original. That would be like my top 5. Which one I watched first? I feel like they've always just been in my brain because I started watching them like at 4 years old. I don't remember. Yeah, so it's like I've kind of always it's just been in my head. I can't, and I wish I could remember, like, which one did I watch first? I have no idea.
I remember which one I watched first because it was a month after it came out in theaters. My mom and dad took me to go see Freddy vs. Jason when I turned 4.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
For my birthday, because my birthday was the month after it came out. And then they started something that they just couldn't stop.
Yeah, no. Once you get it, that's how, like, my mom's really young, and so she had me at 14. So and my aunts, they would babysit me a lot whenever if she had to go work or something, and my aunts are also very young. So I was pretty much allowed to watch whatever I wanted, just kind of, and I would watch, like, movies with her, or we would watch Tales from the Crypt when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So it's like, I've always been kind of watching it. The only thing I can remember as a kid seeing was the beginning of Jason Lives, the resurrection scene. Yeah. For some reason, that's the only thing I can remember watching as a kid, just that opening scene, though.
Yeah. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the only one where one actor played 2 versions of Jason. Because Brooker, like, in the original, like, in the beginning, he was in the overalls and stuff for that scene where he's limping away. And then later on, you actually see him as, like, the part 3 Jason. I think that may be the only movie where one actor played 2 different versions of Jason in one movie.
I think so too, because one actor playing 2 different Jason. I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Which that's awesome.
Yeah, it is. That's just one little thing. I like that the 2, 3, and 4 all take place within 1 week. And the last thing that I want to talk about is the last thing in the movie, the ending, which
The ending,
again,
yes.
is something I love and hate because I love how Chris sticks that axe in his head and he's still trying to come at her and he falls.
Oh, he's like,
But
yes.
then I hate the dream sequence when the Pamela Voorhees jumps out of the water.
Yeah. That's something
Although
that
something
bothers
I
me.
always laugh my ass off is when Jason's in the window. He's just like,
Oh my god, he looks like creepy in that scene when
oh yeah,
when you just see his face in the window and then he like runs down and he looks so excited.
Yeah.
That scene, I don't like the dream sequence, and it's like, oh well, the other two had them. Let's just copy from the original, but have Pamela jump out instead of Jason.
it felt very
It's like-
unoriginal.
Very unoriginal. Oh, sorry.
You're fine.
It's very unoriginal. And then it's just like at this point, we are expecting it. Like you've seen the first two, you know there's going to be some sort of like stinger in the end. So you watch it and you're just kind of waiting.
Two actually had a good stinger, but 3 definitely not.
Definitely
4
not. No.
4's stinger was really just Tommy looking at the camera.
Yeah.
That was unsettling. But 3, not my least favorite ending in the series, but
No.
it's not towards the top at all.
Not my least favorite. I just wish they would have done something different with it. Definitely. Also, just so many like dream sequences throughout the franchise. It's just like we can do something a little different. Like you don't have
It's a
to
dream.
follow.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, do
but
something
you choose to
crazy, like-
you choose to just rip off the first movie.
Exactly. Yeah, the very end. Not the fan of that, but I do love when Chris, like, whenever she's being like wheeled away or whatever, and she's just like laughing, like
Yeah.
I love.
She
that
broke.
part. She broke, and I like seeing that in characters,
Yeah.
like especially Final Girls when they reach like Sally in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, she does it way better than Chris does. Like I can admit that, but like
Spill the tea.
I love that part when Sally is just losing it and she's laughing and she's going crazy because she's finally done. And Chris had that same sort of moment, but I don't want to say it doesn't feel earned because
it's definitely earned.
it's earned. She went through more stuff than just the movie. Like we saw like little flashbacks. So she's been through some stuff and she put up a hell of a fight. I love
my god, she kicked his
that
ass.
final, in which a lot of people, when they don't really like part 3, they do say like, but the third act is awesome because it just goes and it keeps going. So I love the third act. The very end, not the biggest fan of, but I do like that she loses her shit.
Yeah,
because that's what I like in my Final Girls.
Drops a bookcase on him, hits him over the head with a plank, head in the head with an axe, hangs him. She fights.
She is whipping some ass.
Yeah.
Yes, and I love that. And I love that she puts the axe in the head because then you get that iconic mark.
Which even with the hockey mask, nobody knew that was going to be popular, and no one knew that that would carry over even whenever it should.
Make like such a it would change his image in a way.
She literally left her mark on the franchise.
Yes.
Literally.
So you can always. Anyone can talk down about part 3. I get it. Not for everyone. Whatever.
But that final 15 minutes. 15, 20 minutes.
Final act. Yeah. The final act. You get the mask in part 3, which is awesome. We finally, which I love Saghead Jason in part 2.
Oh, I do too.
But you finally get that iconic mask. And like that right there is what
Nobody's looked at hockey mask the same.
Jason. Exactly. Who knew that like a hockey mask would make such a great villain? Like
I made a point about this last year whenever I did my first Friday the 13th special that like I think every movie in this franchise leaves a mark on history and cinema. Like one with the ending with like that jump scare. Probably the greatest jump scare in cinema history was that.
Yeah.
And that's tough competition. 2, you got like Betsy and Pamela and Alice coming back for the sequel, which like people didn't like. In horror movies at the time, that wasn't the trope of people coming back in the sequel just to get killed.
Exactly. Yeah.
This one introduced the hockey mask, and 4 introduced the character Tommy Jarvis, which is the second most popular character in the franchise.
Yes.
And then so on and so forth. Like every movie in this franchise is memorable for
it has and that's why like I don't consider the Friday the 13th to be my favorite franchise like overall. It's probably my third favorite.
Yeah.
But besides a couple movies, I love the franchise because like each movie is like no matter what you like you will find something in
like,
one of these movies.
Yeah, like me, when we were discussing this with Vincent DeSanti, which you won't, people will see this today, but the video of that won't be up till Friday. We were actually talking about how this franchise, people can discuss like there's someone can hate the 2009 movie and then love it at the same time and not jump down each other's throats.
Yeah.
Like Vincent said that he didn't like that one, and me and everyone else just started laughing. And he's just like, "See, no, that's the point though, because we can laugh about it, and we're not
exactly." Yeah, if someone tells me they don't like the remake, I get it. Like I understand, and with a lot of movies, like I understand if someone doesn't like it. Like yeah, we all have our own taste. Like Jason Knight, he loves Jason Lives.
Yeah.
I am not a fan of Jason Lives. And I know you are, you said it, but like that one sits more towards the middle for me.
Yeah.
But it's just not my thing. I get it that it's his, and I understand why people love that one. It's just not for me. But that's okay.
Yeah. But circling back to number 3, I do like the very, very, very end shot of him in the barn with the axe in his head just laying there.
Just like, laying there.
He's fucked up. But speaking of ending, why don't we wrap this up here? Any last final thoughts?
I mean,
I think we pretty much covered all the bases.
I love part 3. Yeah. I know I've already said that. But I think that's really it. I feel like it might not be super memorable besides like the mask and like the ending fight scene. The characters are hit and miss, I guess. But I love the movie. For all its faults, I really love it. Yeah.
And I enjoy it as well. But I'm going to thank you for coming onto my channel, Destiny.
Thank you for having me on.
Anytime.
Awesome.
So I think that's going to do it for this time. So don't forget to like, share, comment, and if you haven't, subscribe. Bye-bye.
Bye.